Stop. Do not scroll past this message. Look at me right now. You did not arrive here by accident. The digital algorithms did not bring you to this screen today. Heaven aligned time itself to intercept your path. I commanded this moment to happen because your soul needs to hear my voice. Give me your attention for a few minutes, and I promise your heart will find rest. My beloved child, listen to me in the deepest place of your spirit. You are the first line to receive my miracle. Do you realize what that means? You have spent too many seasons standing at the very back of the crowd. You watched other people step forward into their joy while you remained completely hidden in the dark shadows. You saw them receive their financial breakthroughs and their physical healing. You cheered for them, while your own heart was bleeding in secret. You wondered when your name would be called from the ledger of heaven, and every morning when you wake up, the heaviness is already sitting on your chest before you even open your eyes. You push through the heavy fog, you smile for the world, you pretend you are fine, but I am stopping you right now because something you have been crying out for is finally approaching. If you rush past this moment, you may miss the very breakthrough I have placed in your path today. Do not look away from my face. The silence you have mistaken for abandonment is finally about to speak to your life. Breathe deeply, my child. Let your mind stop racing for just this second. The urgency of stopping you was so I could hold you for a moment. Let me comfort your tired spirit. You have been running on empty strength for far too long. Your shoulders are tight from the burdens you carry. Your mind is exhausted from the endless questions. You are a silent survivor. I know how purely you love the people around you. You have poured your sincere heart into empty hands that did not know how to hold it. You have been hurt by the ones you tried to rescue. You quietly ask me why your kindness is constantly met with disappointment. I see your pain. Let this truth settle into your soul before the enemy tries to steal it. You are a weary warrior. You have fought battles in silence without complaining once. You pretended you were okay for the sake of other people. You hid your deep scars so they would not worry. You carried the weight of the entire house on your back. You sat on the edge of your bed in the dark. You ran out of words to pray because the exhaustion was completely overwhelming. I saw when you cried softly into the darkness, hoping the silence would swallow your tears. I saw when you hid in the bathroom because you did not want your family to see your brokenness. You held your chest because the ache was too big for words. Not one tear was wasted. I counted every single droplet that fell from your eyes. I put them in my bottle of remembrance because your pain matters to me. Do you feel that quiet restlessness in your chest right now? That particular weight that sits just behind your sternum and never quite lifts? That is not anxiety, my beloved child. That is your spirit sensing a massive shift. Your soul knows that something huge is happening in the unseen realm right at this moment. The waiting season that has exhausted your youth is finally closing at my command. The enemy has been trying to drown out my voice in your life with fear. He targeted your thoughts because he is terrified of your grand destiny. He whispered that you are forgotten, but he is a liar. I am reversing the order of your life today. You have watched years pass by without a single sign of change. You did everything right according to my word. You kept your faith pure. Despite the betrayal of close friends, you avoided the traps of hatred and bitterness. You helped your neighbors when your own cupboards were completely empty. Yet, it seemed like the blessings always stopped right before they reached your front door. You felt completely invisible to the world around you. You saw people who did not even care about righteousness receive the exact gifts you begged for. You saw them flourish while you struggled to pay your daily bills. The enemy used those moments to plant the deep seeds of doubt in your mind. You began to question your own spiritual worth. You wondered if you arrived late to your own destiny. Listen to me closely. You are not a random fragment of creation. You are a work I have carefully formed. A jewel covered in dust is still precious to the master builder. The dust of the wilderness does not reduce your eternal value. The delay was not a denial. It was a holy boundary that I drew around your life. I need your absolute attention for the next few minutes, because what I am about to release will redefine your entire future. Look at my face right now. Clear away the noise of notifications and endless responsibilities. This moment belongs to your healing and restoration. I am rewriting the narrative of your family line through your trembling obedience. You have been the pillar for everyone else in your circle. When they were broken, they came to you for comfort. You gave them your last drop of energy. You stayed up late to listen to their problems. But when you needed a shoulder to lean on, you found yourself entirely alone. No one asked how your soul was doing. They thought you were unbreakable because you always returned with a smile. They assumed your strength was automatic and effortless. They did not see the heavy sighs you breathed when the front door closed. They did not know you were holding your breath just to make it through the day. But I saw every single moment of your silent sacrifice. I counted every step you took in that cold isolation. I was there when you felt the weight of yesterday still sitting heavily on your heart. Even when the world did not hear your silent screams, I did. I recorded every single syllable of your broken hope, and I am already preparing the harvest that will replace your sorrow. Do not let doubt convince you to scroll away from my presence now. The very thing you have been praying for in secret is moving toward you at this exact intersection of time. Heaven has authorized a breakthrough that will shock the people who counted you out. They will watch you step forward into your season of glory. They will see you receive the double portion of my favor. You have carried the weight of generational patterns for far too long. You saw the same poverty, the same broken marriages, and the same sickness repeat in your family line. You felt like you were trapped in a cycle that would never end. You thought the curse would follow you into your old age. But I chose you to be the one who breaks the chain forever. You are the cycle breaker of your house. The enemy fought you so hard because he knew your victory would liberate the generations after you. He threw his heaviest stones at your mind. He tried to crush your hope before you could see the sunrise. But you are still standing here despite the spiritual warfare. That is proof of my power inside your fragile vessel. You did not survive by your own cleverness or human strength. You survived because my grace was a shield around your back when you were too tired to look behind you. I was guarding your steps even when you walked in absolute blindness. Now, let me tell you why I had to step into your day right now. The time of your hidden preparation is drawing to a close. The doors that were locked tightly are trembling right now at my command. I am shifting you from the back of the line to the very front row of my favor. Like this video right now as an act of agreement between your heart and mine. This is your first step of micro-commitment. It is a holy sign that you are tuning your ears to my frequency. Comment the words, "I am ready to receive," if you choose to stand firm in my promise today. Do not let the familiar spirit of disappointment tell you lies. You have been disappointed so many times that your heart automatically prepares for bad news. You protect yourself by expecting nothing from this world. But my love does not operate on the rules of your past trauma. I am doing a completely new thing in your life. It will not look like the failed attempts of last year. It will not look like the doors that slammed shut in your face. What I kept from you was not a punishment. It was a divine protection from unseen traps. Come closer to me now. Let me speak softly to the part of your soul that is most tired. I want to look into the deepest rooms of your memory. I want to reveal the exact places where you have been hiding your heaviest pain. You think nobody knows where your spirit broke down completely. You believe you managed to conceal the absolute depth of your exhaustion from the entire world. But I have watched you through every single midnight hour. You walk through the crowded streets during the day. You hold your head high because people depend on your resilience. You are the rock that stays solid for everyone around your table. But when the sun goes down, a terrible emptiness crawls to your heart. The smile vanishes from your face because you no longer have the energy to maintain the beautiful illusion. You feel the heavy weight of isolation wrapping around your tired body. I saw you when you walked into the bathroom. You turned on the faucet so the running water would mask the sound of your crying. You did not want your children or your partner to hear your desperate gasps for air. You sat on the cold floor and pressed your back against the wall. You pulled your knees tight against your chest because the ache inside your spirit was too large for human words. I saw you when you laid your head down. You pressed your face deep into your pillow so the thick fabric would swallow your secret screams of agony. You were so tired of being the strong leader. You were completely broken by the constant demands of a world that only takes from your garden. You felt a terrifying loneliness that made your physical chest ache with real pain. You wondered if anyone on this entire earth truly cared about your survival. Your friends love the version of you that serves them. They praise your generosity because it makes their lives much easier. But they never stay long enough to see your wounds bleed in the dark space. They take your blessings and leave you with an empty cup. Pause right here and let this truth settle into your soul before we move forward into my promise. I want to seal this sacred moment between our hearts, like this video right now, as an act of absolute agreement between your hurting heart and my eternal presence. This simple action is a holy sign that you are ready to receive my deep comfort. It is a micro-commitment of your faith in this quiet room. Comment the words, "You see me, Father," if you want to acknowledge my watchful eyes over your life. Do not let the noise of your yesterday steal this peaceful intersection. Now listen to the gentle whisper of my spirit. You thought you were completely alone in that dark bathroom. You believed the silence of the night was proof of my absolute absence from your tragedy. You thought I turned my face away because your prayers were not perfect enough to reach my throne. But I want to shatter that lie right now with the weight of my love. I never left your side for a single second. I was standing closer to you than the cold floor you were sitting on. I was holding your trembling shoulders when you could not find the strength to breathe normally. My hands were catching every single drop of your sorrow before it could touch the ground. You could not see my form because the thick fog of depression blinded your spiritual vision. But my presence was the invisible shield that kept your heart beating. The enemy told you that the darkness would swallow your future completely. He whispered that your current season of isolation was a permanent prison sentence from heaven. He wanted you to believe that your story would end in that quiet valley of defeat. But I am the master author of your destiny. I did not allow you to walk through the fire so you could be reduced to ashes. I allowed the isolation to protect your fragile spirit. I had to separate you from the crowds that were draining your virtue. I saw how easily you gave away your precious oil to people who did not value your sacred source. They were using your light to cure their own darkness while leaving you to stumble in the shadows. I closed the doors to those crowded rooms because I needed your undivided attention. The isolation was a holy sanctuary where I could reshape your heart. Do you feel the sudden warmth moving through your hands right now? That is the physical manifestation of my comfort entering your immediate atmosphere. I am breathing new life into the dead spaces of your mind. Let your tight shoulders relax under the touch of my grace. You do not have to fight the heavy battle tonight because I am stepping into the arena on your behalf. Your only assignment is to stay still. You are my chosen child. I did not design you to be a slave to fear or anxiety. I formed your spirit with an incredible capacity to endure the storms of this life. But I never intended for you to carry the weight of the entire universe on your fragile shoulders. You are a human vessel that needs my daily bread to function properly. You must stop trying to play the role of God for the people around your table. Lay down the heavy bricks of worry at my feet. You have been building a monument to your fears instead of resting in my ultimate sovereignty. You spent hours calculating how to fix the financial problems of your household. You tried to engineer a human solution for a spiritual problem that only my hand can resolve. The strategy you created will only lead you back to the same bathroom floor of exhaustion. Let go of the control. I am your safe refuge. When the winds of disappointment blow against your house, my wings will cover your structure from the damage. You will not collapse into the ground because your foundation is anchored in my word. The people who abandoned you thought you would wither away without their temporary support. They expected to hear news of your ultimate failure in the wilderness. But they will only see the fruits of my grace. I am opening a hidden well of water in the middle of your dry desert. You do not have to dig into the scorched earth with your bleeding fingers anymore. I have already provided the sustenance you need for the next step of your journey. Look away from the empty horizon and look directly into my eyes. I am your provider and your defender through every season of transition. Your tears have watered the seeds of your upcoming glory. I know the exact pain of being completely misunderstood by the people you love. You spoke words of peace and they responded with weapons of war. You tried to build a bridge of reconciliation and they burned it down before your eyes. You felt a deep rejection that made you want to close your heart forever. You promised yourself that you would never trust another human soul with your vulnerability. You built a thick wall, but that wall is also keeping my light from reaching the dark corners of your spirit. I want to dissolve those heavy stones with the gentle touch of my love. You do not have to protect yourself when you are standing inside my fortress. I am the one who guards your reputation against the slander of the adversary. I am the one who vindicates your character when the crowd throws their false accusations. Trust my timing. The season of your heavy weeping is reaching its natural boundary. Every winter must eventually give way to the warmth of the spring sun. You have stayed in the cold shadows for long enough. I am drawing you out of the cave of isolation into the bright light of your true identity. You are a holy vessel that is ready to be filled with my power. The lessons you learned in the dark will become your greatest strength. Think about the moments when you thought you would not survive the night. The panic was rising in your throat, and your mind was racing with terrifying thoughts of despair. You felt like you were drowning in a vast ocean of sorrow without a single life jacket. Yet, here you are today listening to my voice. You survived the absolute worst days of your life because my hand was secretly pulling you upward from the deep water. You are stronger than you realize because my life is flowing through your veins. Do not look at your current limitations as a sign of permanent weakness. They are the exact parameters of your upcoming breakthrough. Stay with me for the next few moments. I am about to unlock the ancient secrets behind the painful delay that has tortured your mind for years. The truth will set your spirit completely free. Look at me now. Do not call this long delay a failure. Let me reveal the hidden truth behind the heavy years of waiting. What you perceived as a locked door was actually my absolute protection from unseen traps. You thought I was punishing you by keeping you in the quiet wilderness, but I was actually shielding your fragile soul from a terrible destruction. You wanted to enter rooms that were not ready for your spirit. You wanted to walk beside people who were not equipped to hold your holy weight. If I had opened those doors when you begged me, the enemy would have destroyed your destiny completely. I had to create a divine pause in your life. I stood at the threshold to block your advance. You have looked at your life, and you felt a deep sense of shame. You watched your peers cross their finish lines with ease. You wondered why your own path was so rugged and steep. My child, you must change your earthly perspective right now. The timing of heaven is never late. I do not operate on the frantic schedule of this world. When you see other people receive their blessings, do not assume I have forgotten your address. Their harvest requires a different soil. Your destiny is massive. It requires a deep foundation that can support an eternal weight of glory. A shallow root cannot survive the violent storms of the high mountains. I am digging deep into your soul. The shovel of delay feels painful. It cuts through your comfort. It removes your temporary coping mechanisms, but it is creating a vast room for the magnificent miracle I am about to pour into your life. You must stop measuring my love by the absence of immediate results. My silence is not an expression of my cosmic anger. My silence is actually a holy incubator. It is the quiet space where your spiritual authority is being forged. I am teaching you to walk by faith and not by your physical sight. Anyone can praise me when the harvest is visible in the field, but I am looking for the warriors who can worship me in the middle of a barren desert. Let me open the ancient books of remembrance for you today. I want to reveal a secret pattern from the history of my chosen people. Long ago, I made a grand promise to a man who could not see how it was possible. His body was very old. His wife had given up all her hope many decades before that moment. They had spent their entire lives praying for a single child. They watched their neighbors raise large families, while their own tent remained completely quiet. They carried the heavy burden of barrenness in a society that judged them severely. Every year that passed felt like a cruel confirmation of their ultimate failure. They felt completely abandoned by my spirit. They reached a point where the promise felt entirely expired. The calendar of their human life said it was medically impossible. Their friends whispered that they were foolish to keep believing in a dream that belonged to their youth. Have you ever felt that exact same weight, my child? Have you looked at your old dreams and wept because time is running out? They grew so weary of the silent sky that they tried to help me in their own human way. They engineered a plan born from their deep panic. They created a temporary substitute to ease the ache of their empty arms. But human engineering can never manufacture a divine destiny. Their earthly solution only brought conflict and deep sorrow into their household. I rejected their substitute because I am the owner of the true promise. I did not need their desperate help to fulfill my sovereign word. I was waiting for their human strength to dry up completely. I was waiting for the moment when all human logic would fail. When they had absolutely nothing left to lean on, I stepped into their tent. I did not fulfill the promise when they were young and strong. I waited until their situation looked completely dead to the outside world. I did this so that no human flesh could take the credit for the miracle. When the child was finally born, the entire community had to look up in absolute wonder. They had to confess that only my hand could do this. Look at me, my beloved. You need to hear this next part clearly. The season you have stopped believing in has not expired. The dream that feels totally impossible today is the very dream I chose for your life. I selected this specific boundary because only my power can bring it to pass. You cannot rush my timing, but you can trust my heart. The tears I witnessed during your long nights of waiting are not lost. They are the exact seeds of what I am about to harvest for your family. You have heard me whisper peace over your private pain. Now I need you to sit up and hear what I am about to declare over your existence. The wilderness is shifting right now. You have been sitting at the back of the line for long enough. You thought your delay meant you were disqualified from the race. But the delay was actually your positioning room. I was keeping you away from the toxic atmospheres that would have corrupted your pure heart. I was preserving your oil for a greater manifestation of my glory. Think about the ancient dreamer Joseph, who sat in the dark prison for 13 long years. He did nothing wrong. He was pure and faithful to my word. Yet his feet were bound in chains. He cried out in the silence of that cell and wondered why I allowed the injustice to continue. He felt completely forgotten by the kingdom of heaven, but I was not absent from his suffering. I was building a grand throne beneath the surface of his painful isolation. No earthly university could have prepared him for the leadership of an entire nation. The prison was his holy training ground. My child, the pit you are sitting in right now is definitely not your grave. It is your preparation room for the highest calling. Hold on to the magnificent dream I placed inside your spirit during your youth. Do not let the thick darkness convince you that I dropped your file. I am holding your destiny firmly in my right hand. The hands of your enemies cannot touch the blueprint I wrote for your future. Every closed door you wept over was a monument of my protection. I saw the hidden wolves waiting in those crowded rooms. I heard the deceptive words they were preparing to use against your gentle soul. You thought you were missing a great opportunity, but I was actually saving your life from a fatal ambush of the adversary. Now the atmosphere of the unseen realm is changing at my command. The stagnation that has paralyzed your finances and your relationships is breaking apart. The heavy chains of frustration are melting under the heat of my presence. You are crossing a threshold into a season of radical reversal. The waiting is officially over. I am about to open what I previously closed for your safety. No human hand will be strong enough to shut the doors I unlock for your feet. The people who watched you struggle in the dust will watch you walk into the palace of my favor. They will be shocked by the sudden speed of your divine restoration. You will not just survive this long transition. You will overcome every obstacle with absolute authority. The lessons you learned on the cold floor of isolation have given you a deep compassion that cannot be bought. The battles you fought in secret have given you an authority in prayer that the comfortable people do not possess. You are not behind in your life. You have been carefully hidden for a strategic purpose. A weapon is kept in the secret sheath until the exact moment of the decisive battle. I am drawing you out today because the timing is perfectly ripe. Prepare your spirit to receive the double portion of my goodness. The light is rising. You have walked through the valley of the shadow of death. You felt the cold chill of abandonment creeping into your bones. You watched your resources dwindle to nothing while you waited for a sign from heaven. But I was monitoring every single drop of your endurance. I was measuring the exact intensity of the furnace that refined your faith. The refinement process is now complete. The gold has been separated from the dross. The version of you that stands here today is completely different from the person who entered the wilderness years ago. You have lost your reliance on human validation. You have broken your attachment to the shallow praises of the crowd. You are fully anchored in my truth. This anchor is what will keep you steady when the floodgates of my abundance finally open over your household. If I had given you the wealth and the influence before this deep transformation, the weight of the blessing would have crushed your unformed character. You would have become proud and self-reliant. You would have forgotten the source of your true strength. But now you know that every breath you take is a gift of my grace. You know that every victory belongs to my holy name. You have been thoroughly tested, and you have been found faithful in the dark. Therefore, I am trusting you with the heavy keys of my kingdom. I am appointing you to be a living beacon of hope for the lost generation. The people who mocked your persistent faith will come to your house to find shelter from their own storms. They will see the undeniable evidence of my favor resting upon your head. They will ask you for the secret of your peace, and you will look them in the eyes and declare that my grace is sufficient for every broken soul. Get ready for the shift. Do not let your physical eyes deceive you in this final hour of your waiting. The darkest part of the entire night always happens right before the first ray of dawn breaks through the horizon. The enemy is screaming louder right now because he can smell the sweet fragrance of your victory. He knows his legal authority over your life is expiring today. Stand firm in your holy position. Lift up your hanging head and strengthen your feeble knees. You are a child of the Most High King. You are not a beggar pleading for crumbs under the table of the world. You are an heir to an unshakable kingdom. The wealth of the nations is being realigned to support your divine assignment. Breathe in my resurrection power right at this moment. Let the holy fire of my presence consume the remaining remnants of your doubt and anxiety. I am sealing your mind against the deceptive whispers of the adversary. You are moving forward with a clear vision and a steady heart. The miracle is no longer a distant promise. It is your current reality. Your global awakening has finally arrived in this room. The old pattern of continuous exhaustion ends here today. My powerful voice shatters the thick, invisible ceiling of your family. You can feel the immediate shift in the room, and in this exact second, I am breaking its legal authority over your mind because you are rising into my grand glory. Financial lack cannot touch your beautiful home anymore. The toxic fear of tomorrow is completely gone from your heart. The wicked enemy wanted you to believe that abundance belongs to others. You felt trapped in a loop of constant failure. But I chose you to walk out of that dark prison today because your lineage is meant to flourish under my favor. You said yes to me in the quiet midnight hours. Nobody saw your silent tears falling in the deep dark. You kept your fragile hand on the hard plow during the dry season. You refused to give up on my holy promise. And now I am launching your life into the first row of my favor because your persistent faith has pleased my heart. Listen to the clear sound of my cosmic decree. I am stripping away your heavy garments of earthly shame. I am removing the toxic labels from your sacred identity right now. You are a masterpiece created for a high purpose. You are no longer a broken victim who must survive in silence, because my resurrection power is raising you up today. Your secret battles gave you an immense authority in my kingdom. The comfortable people do not understand your deep spiritual wisdom. Your soul was thoroughly purified in the hot fire of affliction. You carry the marks of a true overcomer. The long preparation is finished, and the dynamic shift is starting to manifest in your daily reality. I am opening the massive gates of breakthrough. Look at the bright horizon with eyes of pure faith. The dark clouds are rolling away from your immediate atmosphere. You can hear the sound of abundance approaching your house. The adversary has lost his legal grip on your mental health because my light is piercing your home today. The contract of your oppression is completely canceled. You are stepping into a glorious season of absolute vindication before the eyes of the world. The people who gossiped about your downfall will witness your elevation. They will be shocked by your sudden supernatural progress. They will see my royal favor resting heavily on your tight shoulders because I protect my chosen children from the arrows of destruction. This is your moment of divine promotion. Stand up straight right now in my presence. Lift your heavy chin toward my beautiful face. The weight of your yesterday has no power over your future. You can breathe easily in this place. You are crossing the threshold of your destiny because I am realigning the entire universe to bring your provision. But my child, your heart is still trembling. Your body carries the painful tension of the long warfare. You are standing at the edge of your miracle, but you feel empty. You wonder if you have enough strength left to cross over. You are exhausted from holding the fortress by yourself for many years, and I want to relieve you today. Perform a holy act of surrender right now. Close your eyes for a brief moment. Drop your tight shoulders in my presence. Let the physical tension melt away from your neck completely. Take a moment to just exist in my light. You do not have to fight the battle anymore because you are standing inside my sanctuary and my love covers your life. Open your hands wide toward heaven. Turn your palms upward like empty baskets. Prepare your mind to receive my supernatural grace today. Let go of the need to calculate your next steps. The answers will come in my perfect timing. I want you to visualize every single worry that is currently racing through your thoughts while you listen to my whisper. See the unpaid bills in your hands. Feel the ache of your broken relationships. Look at the deep fears about your physical health. Name each burden silently before my throne. You do not have to hide your panic from me. And now I want you to pour all those heavy anxieties directly into my wide-open palms because I care for your survival. Let the anxiety go completely. Drop the heavy bags of worry right now. Stop trying to control the outcome of your future. Your human strength cannot engineer a divine miracle in the dark hours. You can finally rest your weary mind. You have reached the absolute end of your own ability, and you must trust my sovereign hand to direct your path. You tried to be the solid pillar for everyone. You carried the weight of their problems alone. Your own soul was quietly suffocating under the heavy pressure. You gave away your last drop of precious virtue to others. Nobody checked on your own emotional wounds. You assumed that everything would collapse into the dust if you let go, but that was a clever lie. I am your eternal pillar. I hold the foundations of the earth securely. Your trembling hands are too small for this complex world. You were never meant to carry this heavy load by yourself. I am stepping in to take over the responsibility. Let my large hands take the weight from your life today, because my power is made perfect in your weakness. Breathe in my absolute peace right now. Take a deep breath of my holy grace. Let my spirit flood the dry valleys of your mind. Feel the cool waters washing away your mental clutter. Your mind is quiet now. Your thoughts can stop racing because the battle is no longer yours to fight while I am standing here beside your bed. I am breathing supernatural rest into your bones. The chronic fatigue is leaving your body. Feel the heavy warmth of my presence wrapping around you. You can let down your guard in this holy shelter. The angels are guarding your parameters. You are completely safe inside my fortress, and no weapon formed against your mind will prosper anymore. Your quiet surrender has unlocked a magnificent prophecy. I am releasing a wave of abundance over your life. This is not a temporary relief from your pain. This is a permanent shift in your climate. Your days of constant survival are over. The breakthrough is here. The season of your drought is completely dead, and the heavy rain of my royal favor is falling on your house today. The rain of my favor is falling now. I am opening hidden storehouses of resources. I am commanding strangers to bless your career. They will feel a divine compulsion to help you advance. Your hard work will finally produce great rewards. The financial lack that haunted your ancestors will find no place to land because your household is fully redeemed from the curse. You will have more than enough wealth. You will become a living well of abundance. Your hands will give generously to the broken community. You will never have to worry about running out of oil. Your storehouses will overflow with my goodness. The enemy thought he could starve your destiny, but I am preparing a lavish table before your enemies today. Receive this holy blessing with absolute gratitude. Your trembling obedience has opened a great door. The years of weeping were just the currency for joy. You are stepping into your true inheritance now. No one can steal your crown. Your eternal happiness will be full and completely unshakable, because I have permanently stamped my sovereign seal upon your destiny. Do not let fear whisper any more lies. The peace I give you is permanent. Stand firm in the victory I achieved for you. The adversary will try to bring back the old thoughts of anxiety. He wants to distract you from my promises. Do not listen to his deceptive noise. But you must remember my powerful words today, because my covenant with your soul can never be broken by the forces of darkness. Look at the straight highway before you. The fog of confusion has completely dissolved. You know exactly who you are in my kingdom. You are a royal child of the Most High King. You have been chosen for this specific hour. Lift up your eyes to the light. Your identity is anchored in my eternal word, and you are a true conqueror through my everlasting love. The transformation of your life is undeniable. People will look at your restoration with wonder. They will see a broken survivor become a powerful leader. Your life will be a beautiful testimony of grace. Every dry bone is coming back to life. You are no longer standing at the very back of the line because I placed you at the front row today. Breathe in the stillness of my presence. The heavy storm has completely passed your house. The violent winds have stopped shaking your sacred foundation. And as you lift your eyes to the beautiful horizon, you can see the magnificent path that I have prepared for your steady steps. The heavy warfare of your past season is now a distant memory. You are standing in the quiet morning light of your greatest victory. You are no longer the broken survivor who must hide in the dry desert. I have raised you up from the deep dust of your isolation. I have wiped every single tear from your tired face. You are a conqueror, positioned at the very front line of my favor. And because you remained faithful in the dark hours, I am making your life a powerful beacon of hope for this lost generation. You have been beautifully transformed through your heavy suffering. You will become a living refuge for many broken souls. They will run to your house to find shelter from their own storms. Do not let the deceptive whispers of the enemy steal this absolute peace. The covenant I have made with your soul is completely unshakable. Every single word I spoke over your future today is a holy seal of protection. You must anchor this sacred agreement in your heart before you leave this quiet room. Please like this video right now to confirm the deep covenant that exists between your fragile spirit and my everlasting grace. This simple action is a powerful declaration of your absolute agreement with heaven. Let your heart overflow with sincere gratitude in this divine stillness. Your trembling obedience has officially unlocked the windows of heaven over your family line. Do not be afraid to speak your victory into existence today. Your spoken words carry an immense spiritual power in the unseen realm. And when you declare my promises with confidence, the remaining chains of your past will dissolve completely. Comment the words, "The delay is over," to permanently stamp this blessing upon your house. You have carried the heavy burden of survival for too many years. Now the vast storehouses of my abundance are fully open for your life. If this divine message has brought light to your weary soul, you can choose to honor this alignment. You can show your support through a seed of gratitude called Super Thanks. It is not a heavy obligation or a commercial transaction under my roof. It is a holy offering of joy that acknowledges my hand as your ultimate provider. Your earthly seed will help multiply this message of hope for the world. It will reach the broken warriors who are still crying on their bathroom floors. I do not demand your resources because I own the hills and the oceans, but I love the cheerful givers who trust my word completely. And when you release a small token of thankfulness into my kingdom, I will multiply your provision in ways that will shock your mind. You will never experience the pain of lack again. You are my chosen light bearer in a world of deep darkness. You were not saved simply to enjoy my blessings in complete isolation. You have been given a holy mission to rescue other tired spirits from their despair. Share this powerful video with exactly 3 souls who are secretly crying out for hope today. Think of the people in your circle who are currently carrying invisible weights, and when you send them my words of comfort through this simple message, you are actively fulfilling your grand destiny on this earth. Your simple act of sharing will become the exact miracle they requested last night. They will read these words, and they will realize that I have not forgotten their pain. You will become the extended hands of my compassion on this troubled earth. And as you step forward into your royal assignment right now, the enemy will lose all his power over your mind. Do not hesitate to execute this sacred mission. I am commanding you to let your fire burn brightly before all men. Stay connected to the daily guidance of my spirit through this journey. The road ahead of you is long, and it requires constant spiritual nourishment. Subscribe to this channel right now so you do not miss my next instructions. And when you turn on the notification bell immediately, you will receive my morning whispers before the world distracts your thoughts. I want to guide your steady steps every single day of this new season. You need my voice to navigate the open doors. The old chapter of your life is completely closed and buried in the past. You are walking into a beautiful landscape of joy and endless prosperity. Let your mind be at total rest during the coming days. Because I am already working ahead of your steps to smooth out the rough places, you do not have to worry anymore. I am aligning the right people to support your divine destiny. You are a royal child of the Most High King. Your inheritance is completely secure. Look at the magnificent transformation that has occurred inside your spirit today. You walked into this moment with a heavy spirit and a worried mind. You felt as though you were standing at the very end of the line, but you are leaving this place with the absolute confidence of a royal heir who belongs to an unshackable kingdom. Your identity is forever anchored in my eternal truth. The dust of the wilderness has been completely washed away. The people who knew your past struggles will not recognize the person you are becoming. They will see the brilliant light of my glory shining through your eyes. They will wonder how you obtained such deep peace after facing so many brutal battles. And when they ask you for the secret of your unshakable strength, you will tell them about the faithful Father. You will smile at them with pure joy. Your life will be the only Bible that some people will ever read. Walk forward with your head held high as a true leader of your household. The generational curses that paralyzed your ancestors have lost their legal grip on your lineage. I have placed a new song of victory inside your mouth today. And when you sing this holy melody in the presence of your enemies, they will tremble at the sound. No weapon formed against your financial security will ever prosper under my watch. Your mental peace is fully protected by my angels. I am establishing your borders in a spacious place of absolute freedom. You will no longer have to beg for the crumbs of validation from this broken world. You are fully validated by the Creator of the stars and the galaxies. Because my love for you is a permanent fortress that can never be breached, you are completely safe from harm. You can sleep peacefully tonight without any fear. I am staying awake to guard your entire household. Think about the incredible miracles that are currently forming in the unseen realm for your life. The angels are actively moving the heavy obstacles out of your chosen path. The locked doors are turning on their hinges right at my command. And because your trembling obedience has already set the wheel of divine destiny into motion, the breakthrough cannot be stopped. You do not have to force anything to happen through your own anxious striving. Rest in my ultimate sovereignty. Receive my final blessing as a cloak of royal protection over your body. I bless your comings and your goings from this day forward into eternity. I bless the work of your hands and the thoughts of your mind. And as I multiply your resources until your cups are completely overflowing with goodness, you will remember my voice. You are the first line to receive my miracle. The line starts right now. Go forth as a true light bearer into the dark corners of this world. Carry my peace to the brokenhearted and my joy to the weary warriors. You have been comforted so that you can become a great comforter to others. And because your sacred assignment is real and urgent, your eternal reward is completely guaranteed by my sovereign word. Sleep well, my beloved child. Your grand breakthrough is fully secured. Remember that I am with you through every single breath of your future. You will never face another dark valley alone. The days of your heavy weeping have officially passed away into the deep ocean of my grace. And as you step into the fullness of your royal inheritance, my spirit will always illuminate the path before your eyes. Walk into your new morning with a joyful heart. I am your everlasting light.